Doctors start using medical chatbots. How AI will make online advertising even more terrible. And is artificial intelligence getting dumber? You're watching the AI Report. I plan to become your most trusted source of AI content. Help me help you guys. Like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Doctors are already replacing themselves with Google's medical chatbot. The chatbot is powered by the Mid-Palm 2 model and is currently tested at Mayo Clinic, whose website is my favorite place to check my symptoms and find out I'm gonna die this week. So instead of researching your symptoms on the internet, now your doctor will do that instead of you. I never really understood all that hype around doctors, honestly. They're just glorified bookworms with a bad attitude and a god complex. But still, I like my own doctor. Usually, my visits to my doctor look like the following. Me waiting for 40 minutes in the waiting room even though there are no other patients in the clinic. Then she spends about 2 minutes trying to remember my face. I do have a pretty generic face, to be fair. Then she looks unhappy to see me and wishing I wasn't there and like she can't wait to go back to playing Farmville. Then she asks me what's wrong with the tone of voice from above. Like, Jesus, okay, what now? Then I tell her where my tummy hurts and what I've found on the internet and what I think she should prescribe me. Then she takes about 4 seconds to think about it. Then she inevitably agrees with my internet self-diagnosis and writes me the prescription I recommended. And finally she goes back to looking at her screen. I say goodbye, she quietly mumbles something I can't understand, and then I leave. There is no Dr. House type of thing going on here. She's practically my prescription monkey with a degree. Honestly though, I still like her. I like visiting her. I hope my old rude doctor never changes because of AI. And you know who's even more annoying than doctors? Family members you wish you never had or knew about. I have a fairly small family and I can barely deal with them. But now, because of ChatGPT, genealogy and tracing your relatives became much easier, as outlined in this article. So yeah, I'll probably start making mad cash with this channel very soon. And I can't wait to see all the long-lost cousins that show up at my door with brilliant ideas on how to invest in their new AI startups. Seriously though, people will now be able to find family members they never knew of and can make sure they don't marry each other. Or in the case of some places in the world, use this tool to find the best possible marriage partners. Okay, that was pretty bad, so let's try to follow it with something worse. And that's online advertising. Everybody already hates ads, or at least they claim to, and still ads fuel the world. They influence us into buying beer and Lululemons and Teslas and other useless products, and they simply make the internet go around. Well, now they're gonna get about 10 times worse, because advertisers are obviously gonna abuse the bejesus out of AI tools for coming up with better ways to sell you diabetes and heart disease. I've done my fair share of marketing and advertising. You might say I know a thing or two about a thing or two. And what I can say about, say, ChatGPT for ads is that, as with almost every other AI tool out there, it's kinda good, it's kinda useful, but it's still far from a super weapon. ChatGPT and other tools are decent for brainstorming and creative variations and inspiration, but it still takes a lot of wrestling and creativity to force AIs to output half-baked copy or headlines that will actually work in the real world. Still, legions of inexperienced marketers who don't really have a firm grasp of the skills will start turning to these tools more and more. And my suspicion is that before these tools become really good, the only result will be more bad advertising and bigger ad spend. Okay, next we have robots already stealing the worst jobs that nobody wants, like picking apples in Israel, for example. Let's check out the video real quick. Okay, that looks pretty promising. Yeah, these robots are actually working. They're doing the thing they're supposed to do. Okay, this is actually really interesting. So, see what the guy is saying here? Quote, there are not enough people to pick the fruits. Robots doing the jobs that must be done but humans somehow think are below their station is a clear win in my book. Case solved. And finally, I wanted to talk to you guys about this a little bit. Has anyone noticed that lately ChatGPT has been a little less sharp, less willing to cooperate? less understanding of the details, kinda getting a bit dumber. This post on Reddit talks about the same exact thing. Turns out ChatGPT is a bit dumbed down because of all the demand for it, and OpenAI doesn't yet have the necessary compute power to provide a primo experience to everyone. But also some features may have been removed from recent versions as well. Well, progress is always 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and we had like a million steps forward so far. 1 step back like this is not such a bad deal, and that's the way it is. That was the AI report for today. Short and sweet. I finally have more time to plot how to become the most trusted brand in AI. Help me with that by hitting those like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you tomorrow.